Good. Smithville Board of Aldermen meeting is now called to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't sit down, Melissa. All right, first thing on the agenda is the acknowledgement of Alderman Wilson. We talked about this last meeting, but she was sick and she's still kind of sick, so we're gonna stand a little far back. So, congratulations. Congratulations. Melissa's our first alderman to go through the certification process. Dan will catch up eventually, but they started together and he'll get there. So congratulations again, and let me know when you get the advanced go party. All right, next, Sergeant Pinning. That's why there's so many officers here, not just because of the crowd. So in case any of you are worried, they're not here to check the driver's license or anything. So Chief, it's all yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me a little bit of time tonight. I really appreciate this. You know, sergeants play a crucial role in any police department, and that's for several reasons. Sergeants are typically responsible for supervising a shift of police officers, providing guidance, direction, and oversight to ensure duties are performed effectively and in accordance with department policies and procedures. They serve as frontline supervisors, offering support, mentorship, and leadership to their subordinates. Sergeants are involved in training new officers, providing ongoing training and developmental opportunities for new officers under their command. They ensure officers receive proper instruction in laws, tactics, procedures, the use of equipment, contributing to their professional development, skill enhancement of the department's professional. Sergeants assist in the coordination and management of the day-to-day operations. They help allocate resources, deploy personnel, prioritize tasks to address emerging issues, emergencies, or high-priority incidents effectively. We empower sergeants to make operational decisions to solve problems in real-time situations. They exercise discretion, judgment, critical thinking skills to address complex situations, resolve conflicts, and maintain public safety while adhering to legal and ethical standards. Sergeants serve as role models for officers under their supervision, demonstrating professionalism, integrity, and ethical conduct in their interactions with colleagues, community members, and stakeholders. They uphold department values and standards, fostering a culture of compassion, integrity, honor, and professionalism within an organization. Sergeants serve as a link between frontline officers and the command staff within a department. They relay information, convey directives, provide feedback to officers, ensure effective communication and alignment of organizational goals and objectives. Additionally, sergeants interact with other law enforcement agencies, community groups, local stakeholders to address concerns, collaborate on initiatives, and to build partnerships to enhance public safety. Overall, sergeants play a pivotal role in promoting professionalism, accountability, and effectiveness within a police department. Their leadership, supervision, and operational support are essential for maintaining law and order, protecting communities, and fostering trust and cooperation between law enforcement agencies and the public they serve. And it's been said over and over again that the most important position on any police department is the sergeant. The frontline officers handle calls, do the heavy lifting, Chiefs are generally a figurehead and quite honestly, probably one of the least important members of the department. It's the sergeants that make everything happen and get everything done. So in choosing those people and identifying those people and training those people are critical for not only day-to-day operations, but for where the department goes in the future. And I'm very lucky and very fortunate and very confident to stand before you today and tell you that Kurt Johnson is our next Smithfield Police Sergeant, and you're going to be fortunate enough to get to witness his wife pin his badge on him. Now, one thing I did do, I asked his fellow officers to give me a few words that would describe Kurt, and they didn't disappoint. So, Kurt, I'm going to let you know what your fellow officers said. I sent out an email. I just asked, give me a couple words that describe Kurt Johnson. And here's what they gave me. Patient, courage, loyalty, kind-hearted, approachable, knowledgeable, pleasant to work with, team player, conscientious, and devoted. And I will say I agree with every one of those wholeheartedly. And I can't think of a better person to be the next sergeant for the Smithfield Police Department. Congratulations, sir.
Cookies and water to celebrate. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Consent agenda is approved. Next item is committee reports, Planning Commission.
Planning Commission, we met last week and there will not be an April Planning and Zoning meeting, but it appears May's agenda may have several items on it. Fairview Crossing may start street construction in the very near future. And on tonight's agenda, item 12 and 16 were on our March Planning and Zoning agenda. That's all I have on that.
Head of Finance Committee.
Then on Finance Committee, we just went through on our work session, the 3-month financial year 2024 budget update, which was presented tonight during that work session. And we referenced the CDs that we're working on redoing to earn a higher rate of interest. And that's all I have to present from the Finance Committee.
Thank you. Next
Thank you.
item on the agenda is the City Administrator's report. Ms. Wagner.
Mayor, I wanted to highlight one item on the report as follow-up to our last board meeting when you all did agree and concur, the same word, aren't they? Concur with staff in moving forward on a change to the city's contribution to the employees loggers retirement program. So there is a link within the city administrator's report to the actuarial report that following state statute for the process for that change has to be posted to the website. It will be posted tomorrow. has to be out there for 45 days. And then we have on our future agenda that approval by the board that will put into play the changes or the process to make that change effective for staff. And then I do want to highlight that the April 2nd meeting is moved to Monday, April 1st, and due to the April 2nd municipal election.
Thank you. Next item, any questions, Cynthia? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I have a question, Cynthia. Cynthia, on the loggers piece, on the adjustment, came out to, if I remember, right around just under $82,000 for the first year. And that is budgeted, correct?
We
It
did not
increased?
budget. It will be the budget amendment that we have, that was approved last meeting, amended the budget for that amount, for that change.
Okay, cover that $82,000.
No, I'm sorry. That was the police. Sorry, no. We would need to bring that back as a change to the budget.
Okay,
Because
Okay.
we did not, if you'll recall, we didn't budget for this change in the 2024 budget. We wanted to see how the revenues went. So we'll
Okay.
when we bring forward the action for the resolution making that change, we'll do a budget amendment as well.
okay, thank you, Cynthia.
Any other questions for Cynthia? Next item on the agenda is number 8, Alderman Doolittle.
Motion to approve bill number 3026-24, amending the site plan regulations for all conditional use permits, second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Yulidol,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Russell.
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance amending sections of chapter 400, the zoning code pertaining to site plan review for all conditional use permits.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 9, Alderman Doolittle.
Motion to approve bill number 3027-24, rezoning 16000 and 16100 North 169 Highway to R3 second reading.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have a second? Alderman Atkins, thank you. Any discussion?
Mayor, as I noted in the last Alderman meeting, although I'm not directly involved with this project, my brokerage is, so I will be abstaining.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Yulidol,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman abstained.
Abstain.
5-0, 1 abstained.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance changing the zoning classifications or districts of certain lands located in the city of Smithville, Missouri.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 10, Alderman Doolittle.
Motion to approve bill number 3028-24, agreement with Central Missouri Regional Lodge number 50, second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Yulidol,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
No.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
5-1.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance authorizing the city to enter into a labor agreement with West Central Missouri Regional Lodge number 50 of the Fraternal Order of Police representing the non-supervisory bargaining unit.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 11, Alderman Doolittle.
Motion to approve bill number 3029-24, Fairview Crossing CID Cooperative Agreement, second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have some stuff to add, Mayor, please.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, on the issue here with the Fairview Crossing, several items that I wanted to bring up just as issues that I see. And the first one is 169 and driving the business out of downtown. I see businesses being pushed right now toward 169, and I think 169 is going to, in a couple years, be a nightmare to get down into town and out of town. I'm also seeing potential conflict with the local Board of Aldermen and the members of the board. I see also it dilutes the business voice of the city and the small businesses. Businesses are less represented locally. I see additional tax, of course, that's on there. Disagreement between businesses and future residential neighborhoods has been seen in several locations. Again, I mentioned additional tax. It also adds another layer of government with the creation of another governing body. And I also see lack of oversight potential there with one member representing the city. And those are issues I just wanted to address in my, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Yulidol,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
No.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley.
Aye.
5-1.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance approving the cooperative agreement among the City of Smithville, Missouri, the Fairview Crossing Community Improvement District, and Kansas City Properties and Investments LLC to implement the Fairview Crossing Community Improvement District.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 12. Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to approve bill number 3030-24, rezoning Mount Olivet, first reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Linda, I'll let you have that one. All right, we have 2 public comment cards. Is this, any others? No? Okay. This first one is Larry Yeatman. You have Yeatman, okay. So tough to read your handwriting. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. And
I state my name, just kidding. Larry Yateman here with Mary Yateman, some other neighbors, 4014 Northeast 144th Street, Smithville, Mo 64089. But we're actually in the county and not in the city limit, but we are just immediately east of 144th and Mount Olivet. So like within eyesight of agenda item number 12, right? I don't know. This all snuck up on us. We probably wish we'd been up here in December, right? But these things get by you quick. But, you know, one thing, one neighbor right on Mount Olivet, Kathleen and Ken Beard, they received their notice of the March 12th meeting on March 12th by certified letter. So not a lot of time to react. Very few people actually received any kind of notice. Maybe I'm just far enough away that we didn't get that. I know another neighbor, Kara Ballinger, has been in communication with Jack Hendricks on concerns on Mount Olivet Road and dumping a lot more traffic on that thing. I guess my main concern is adding more traffic to Mount Olivet Road. You know, if we keep developing that corridor, that traffic is going to get worse and worse. And it is a major north-south thoroughfare. You want to go to Liberty or connect to 435, you're going down that roller coaster ride, right? But school bus went off that road last year, motorcyclist killed in another friend's front yard, you know, missed the curve, right? I saw a pickup truck in the ditch, nose down, another wreck lately in that little bit of ice we had a few weeks ago. But that road was laid out in 1850 and they built it on the terrain as it's set, and it's going to cost a fortune to cut down those hills, fill in those valleys and straighten that thing out. So my concern is, hey, Smithville's annexing that little part of Mount Olivet. What about to the south of it? Who's going to pay for that? Is that going to be us county taxpayers that get stuck footing the bill on that? But we need to think about that infrastructure. The other thing, right there in 144th and Mount Olivet, when you're westbound and you want to turn or cross over Mount Olivet, you come up out of a hole, but those cars are coming quick from that left. It's super blind. You know, and with this neighborhood of 32 houses, you can probably figure 3 cars per house. That's 9, you know, do the math. I don't know if they all go in and out one time a day. There's a lot of trips in and out per day. But, you know, nowadays, every house brings so much more traffic. It's Uber Eats and DoorDash and FedEx, UPS, and Amazon all showing up at the same house twice a day. Right? I mean, a lot of in-home delivery. These kids go crazy when they get home. One's ordering pizza and another one's ordering Chinese, right? On mom and dad's debit card, of course. But, so maybe a four-way stop sign there at 144th. I'm not into traffic circles really, but you know, man, we gotta have a way to get out of there. And if we got a bunch of cars flying out of them driveways to the right of us, and we're trying to just avoid, and it's okay when you're in your car, you can maybe scoot on across there, right? When those cars pop coming northbound. But if you're pulling a hay trailer, and we're doing a lot of farming on 144th Street and Mount Olivet. And a lot of these people in this home, they ain't gonna be happy behind our tractors at 20 miles an hour on 144th, but we're gonna be there with hay trailers and all kinds of stuff. But I don't know, that's it, you know, just the traffic, not real wild about the street lights in the proposal. Oh, look, I mean, one of the benefits of the country is you can actually see the stars out there, right? But the light pollution is coming, and I realize that, but
That's time. Thank you.
yep, 3 minutes and done. How you doing, Dan? Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna guess this is Ed. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Same.
Ed Chambers, 3419 Northeast 144th Street, Smithville. I've lived out here 35 years and I moved to Smithville because I like the small town. I mean, this thing went from 2,500 to what, over 10,000 now? At least, and just growing massive. And every kid I know that's went to Smithville High School that drives up and down Mount Olivet has been in one ditch or another, including my 4. And I've seen deaths on that thing. I've seen everything. And I'm like Larry, I just can't believe that they're gonna throw that much more traffic out there. I mean, that's what we moved out in the country for. I got out of Kansas City in 74, moved north, moved into Nashua. It was dirt roads. The dog catcher ran me out of there, and the school district too. And so I brought my kids up here to Smithville School, and I coached up here for a little while. And you know, I moved to the country to be in the country, not to live in the city. That's about all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll open it up to the board for discussion.
Mayor, I do have a question, just to verify if and when they do actually have plot and planning for development out there, some kind of feasible study for safety and traffic and lighting is usually included and done in that.
Correct. And if looking at the plot, the phase 1 is all on Wise Road. It wouldn't be on Mount Olivet or 144th. That's later on. And there's 5 driveways going out to Mount Olivet when they get to that part of the development. The county engineers, all the traffic engineers would have to review it to approve it. And part of the agreement is they have to put a 4-inch overlay on 144th as well as do improvements to Mount Olivet along that property.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
I have a question, Mayor.
Yep.
The,
Is your mic on? I can't hear you.
Yeah, it's on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Testing. All right. That, just a question, about the neighbors receiving notice. Do we know that all the neighbors received notice as required?
I can tell you from our congressmen and senators who are fighting our post office right now that mail is a problem in the Northland.
Yes, it is.
I can tell you that we sent them. I can't tell you how many got them, other than what we've received. And as one of the gentlemen reported earlier, we got one on the day of the hearing right here, 2 of them on the day of the hearing. They signed off on them on the 12th, which was the day of the hearing. So it took them 20 days to get there, even though they were certified on February 22nd.
Yeah, we also noticed the paper at the same time and try to get it out to our website as soon as possible as well.
Yeah. Some people got them real quick, and they're neighbors of some of the people that got them 2 weeks later, 2+ weeks later. I don't know what, as the mayor said, I think it's 185 feet from the property lines.
Thank you, Jack.
Jack, and you and I have not talked about this in the past. I don't think we do. In some communities where I've been, we've put out signs on the property to be rezoned with the information. That might be something we could in the future as well, almost like a for sale sign or a yard sign that notes this property is under consideration for rezoning on X date.
Yeah, I know
So we could look at
library, property, the senior living property had to do that because it's federal, but that's a different requirement.
That might really be a good suggestion because of the fact of the issue we have with receiving mail delayed from the post office. I mean, it's not just this. It's just like I have yet to receive some mail that was mailed to me the end of January. So it's just a big issue with our postal system right now also, which doesn't help the situation in these individuals, but I like that suggestion.
It seems to go into Kansas City and stop. Okay, well,
The sort facility, it gets there and goes stops, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I know a lot of our stuff ended up in Kearney at one point. My sister-in-law works at that post office and they had to send 200 packages back to Smithville because they ended up in Kearney, so. I know it happens. Any other
Mayor,
discussion on the property? Alderman Hartman?
correct me if I'm wrong, but through the planning and zoning process, the developer has to follow certain guidelines, not only including the internal road that'll eventually go, but like you said,
Jack.
asphalt overlay. Can you review that, Jack, just for some folks?
That's about traffic study and the road standards.
The developer's got to meet requirements
Yes.
prior to the presentation of planning and zoning, correct?
Yes, and in this case, both roads are, when we started the discussions, both roads are maintained by Clay County. So we worked with their traffic highway department, their engineers to identify what needed to happen, what they needed from all aspects of it. The development agreement includes a micro surface of Mount Olivet along the entire property line. And then 144th will get a overlay, the mayor mentioned 4-inch overlay to match what is done on Wise Road and further east, or excuse me, further west on 144th in the city.
Tillman.
Yeah, and well,
Yeah.
Wise and Tillman
Yep.
both got it, but yes. The other thing is there are proposed 2 streetlights per city policy. That's only at intersections so that we can light up an intersection at night that gives better visibility to reduce some of the traffic issues. And there's only 2 of them that will be installed initially. They'll be at the Mount Olivet intersection and the Wise Road intersection so that there's light. But only at the intersections. We don't do them down the roads and all like, Kansas City or whatever else.
Thanks, Jack.
and what, Jack, what roads are we going to now be maintaining? Is there additional roads that we're going to be maintaining now?
No, we're working with Clay County on a shared road use agreement that splits up the maintenance on these. The only streets that will be city maintained will be the newly constructed internal streets until such time as that shared road agreement is amended or approved or whatever. Cynthia's been working on it since day one, since she started.
Does that come before the board?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm understanding on driveways and stuff is that's MoDOT's responsibility to give them a permit or not.
Yeah, MoDOT won't do it on a street that's not theirs. So that,
Mount Olive County. Mount Olive, they got it?
no, it's county and they have restricted the number of driveways on Mount Olivet.
Yeah.
They're requiring some of them to double up.
I've got video. Two bicyclists going north, one bicyclist going south on Mount Olive.
Jack, I've got a question.
Thank you.
The suggestion here of 4-way stop, is that something that we can work on in the
We'll have to deal with. the
shared
county.
road
Yeah, yeah.
possibly? Okay,
Well, and we'll have to address it with the county directly,
okay.
whether
think-
they want that or not.
Yeah,
It's
I
up
think-
to
I think-
them, it's their road.
The county's been a lot more receptive recently. They started to work on North Main and a few others. Their roads are becoming a big priority for them, so they're receptive to the feedback. you know, striping helps, stop signs helps, lowering the speed limit helps, but
So if we can, I'd like to make sure that we
Sounds-
kind of put that on the radar for whenever that discussion is had.
Chuck,
At
you
least
got that?
look At doing it a four-way stop there at Mount Olivet and 144th.
got it. Thank you.
And I'd alluded earlier and when Alderman Russell asked, once an agreement is reached, when staff at the city and county level have been able to determine what the agreement would look like, that would absolutely come forward to the Board of Aldermen. Jack's comment, we have been in negotiations with members of the county since 2018. I mean, literally
Well, before
within
that,
the
it goes
first,
back to like
it goes
2012.
back before that, but we were, there is an existing agreement in effect. But many of those roads have either been annexed or have then been changes. So, but as the mayor had indicated, over the last 2 to 3 years, the county has been more receptive to those discussions. We've had more frequent discussions. And as the mayor outlined and is included in the city administrator's report, North Main Street, they're doing that work on it. And then we will take it over once they make those improvements. So that's part of that extension of that cooperative use.
Any other questions? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
No.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Yulidol,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
5-1.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance changing the zoning classifications or districts of certain lands located in the city of Smithville, Missouri.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is number 13. Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to approve resolution 1334 downtown parade policy as amended in our
Oh.
work session.
We have to do that first.
And Mayor, I
We'll open it
suggest
first.
you have
Yeah,
a,
and then we'll do the amendment. So do I have a second?
have a motion for amendment.
I'll second, Mayor.
Thank you. We have public comment. Shauna? You want to comment or you just,
I'm more about Lake Fest, but I can touch on it.
oh, okay. Well, it's on the, it says number 13. You want to wait for 18?
I wrote that card prior to me helping with you guys on the work session,
Okay.
giving my comments
Okay.
of the safety concerns we kind of brought up in the work session already. Sean
Name,
Houghton, 113 Lakeland Drive and Smithville. I first want to say thank you for the city for sponsoring the Lake Fest and always helping us out. Big thank you to several of our aldermen, Mayor, Cynthia, Matt, you guys all sung in the heat with us last year and helped. I love that our community can see you guys involved in helping this grow every year. So I hope that we can get you guys this year. Also want to touch base and let you guys know that we have tried to put in different security measures. We are going to try to be that foremost person in front of the festivals and set standards. So we might make some people upset this year when it comes to, security when it came to the parade. We'll be the first one to implement that, but Kelly's going to send out the save the dates with the new rules on there, so everyone's aware. Also wanted to make sure that, when we recently met, on a side note, I spoke with Leah, we're going to try to figure out how to get the crowd into our local businesses. So whether it be chamber dollars or incentives, we're going to give some kind of incentive to people coming and get them into your guys's, office, into your businesses so that we're not just supporting our vendors, we're supporting our local things. So that's all I wanted to say and just wanted to thank you guys for, like I said, always being supportive of our group.
Thank you. All right. Now you can do your motion to amend, Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to amend resolution 1334 downtown parade policy as stated in our work session.
We probably need to read the text. Do you have it?
Need your microphone.
There you go.
All vehicle equipment operators participating in the parade must be properly licensed and all vehicle equipment must be insured with proof of upon demand. By operating the vehicle equipment in the parade, the owner operator warrants that the vehicle is in sound mechanical condition with no known defects or safety concerns.
That's the section under vehicles. Do I have a second to amend that section?
Second.
Second, thank you. Any discussion on the amendment? Is everybody good with the text?
I have a question on it.
Yes.
Mayor, cover, we talked about like go-karts and stuff because if they're not registered, you know what I mean? Like off-street vehicles, that type of stuff. Did that cover that, Matt? Does that?
It's the discussion that Matt and Alderman Yulidol had. That was the intent, was to make sure it covers golf carts and the other vehicles.
We're good with that? Okay. Oh, good. Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor of approving resolution 1334 as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we'll go back to the regular resolution of, that was originally opened. Any other discussion or any other changes to this? All right, all those in favor of approving resolution 1334, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. All right, we got a parade policy. There you go, Matt. Put it on the website. Next item on the agenda is number 14. Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to approve resolution 1335, Smithfield Senior Center Agreement Renewal.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving resolution 1335, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is number 15. Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to approve resolution 1336, Special Event Permit, Main Street District.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Gotta go faster, Dan.
I'll just say, since I'm on the board, I'll abstain from this vote.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving resolution 1336, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. One
Abstain.
abstain. Motion carries. Next item is number 16. Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to approve resolution 1337, Site Plan Richardson Street.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving resolution 1337, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is number 17. Alderman Yulidol.
Motion to approve resolution 1338, amending the city administrator's employment agreement.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving resolution 1338, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is public comment. I have one, Jennifer Peace. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
My name's Jennifer Pease. I live at 206 Hampton Drive. I wanted to talk about the COP that you guys are going to execute, I guess the next step, April 1st. First off, I just want to say the projects are needed. I understand that. But I urge the city to wait and not do the next step because on April 2nd, you will get a new alderwoman for Ward 1. I feel like that alderperson needs to be able to at least be sworn in to be a part of the vote. Regarding the Stonebird project, the school is partnering with the city, which means the school district is paying money towards this project. But what about the 144th Street project? I understand that this project is needed, but if the developments and the works were not going to happen, would this upgrade still cost $3.9 million? This is an example. Bear with me. I don't know how else to explain this. I'm pregnant with my first child. I have a little 2-seater car. When I go to the car dealership, do I buy a car for 4 seats or do I buy a car for 10 seats? Hence, if this project that's being designed is it needed for the current customers or is it needed for what the future projects are to come? It was said numerous times in the meeting that the developer is not asking for a TIF. A TIF isn't needed for this developer because the city is paying for the project in its entirety. Again, maybe it's just me, but it seems really strange that the city would not require the developer to fund a portion of this needed infrastructure. Let's talk about funding options. There's 4 ways: cash on hand, DNR, USDA, or COP. DNR, the current rates are 1.67%. I think USDA went up to 2 to 3%. COP, it could be a sliding scale. I just did a COP. It went from 3.5% to 4.5%. You won't know until the bonds are bought and you see what kind of reimbursement, they want back on interest rates. The city has a few options when it comes to funding these 2 projects. It was said that these projects have been in the works for a while. So my question is, why didn't the city utilize the $18 million that we have in bond capacity? The voters approved this to be used for infrastructure upgrades, all infrastructure upgrades to the city, to ensure that the loans would be at a low interest rate for a long-term loan. Why does it seem that the city isn't being financially responsible when it comes to a loan for needed upgrades? Is the city holding the $18 million for the new police station? To be honest, I am all for the police. I am for a new police station, but at the rate that these officers are quitting our force here, we don't have a need for a new police station. Should have been out of City Hall years ago, but when you only got 10 officers, how can you make a $21 million police station work? What will the COP cost each connection point each month to pay back? When you're figuring up loans, this is what I do. We look at how much money we need, how much money we got to pay back every year, and it goes by every single connection point. The city's got 4,000 connection points. So what's it going to cost for each customer? Will the interest rate be set fee or will be a sliding scale for the duration of this loan? Will the COP be a 20-year payback or will it be a 10-year? I don't know of anything less than 20, but I am not an expertise in that. And my last question, since both projects are sewer infrastructure, will the rate increases needed to pay back the COP only affect our sewer rates or will our water rates be increasing as well? Thank you.
Thank you. And Cynthia, just to confirm, COP is not on the agenda for April 1st, correct?
Correct, we have moved that.
And we've moved that a while ago, correct?
Yes, it's not been
Thank
on
you.
the planning
Just
calendar
making
for a
sure.
while.
Any new business? Motion to adjourn? Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Stand adjourned. Thank you.